Welcome back to the Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Ian Sachs. 50 years ago today, one law changed women's sports forever. It was a 37-word clause tucked away inside new education legislation. Here's Cronkite News reporter Ashley Stevens on the impact of Title IX.
Title IX was written to address gender equality in education, but 50 years later, it may be most known for its impact on women's sports. According to the Women's Sports Foundation, 1 in 27 girls participated in sports before the passage of Title IX in 1972. Now, that number is 2 in 5. Women's participation in college sports has risen 545% since 1972. At the high school level, only 1% of girls played a varsity sport in 1971, but by 1996, the number rose to 40%. The biggest stride for women came at the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio, where women dominated. U.S. women won 41 medals, 17 gold more than any other nation. But there's still a ways to go. Monetary gaps exist in women's professional basketball and soccer leagues and in the NCAA. And this year marked the first time the NCAA has ever allowed the women's basketball tournament to use the Final Four branding. In the studio, Ashley Stevens, Cronkite News.
This year, after a legal battle, the U.S. women's national soccer team and USA Soccer agreed to a landmark deal that equalizes World Cup prize money. In tonight's NBA draft, former Perry High School star Jalen Williams is expected to hear his name called. I spoke with his brother and his high school coach about what it means to have him reach the game's biggest stage.
When I was little, I always saw him going to NBA. Like, for me, it was never like a question.
It's not surprising to me knowing Jalen and how he was in high school, so it's just been awesome to watch.
Under-recruited out of high school, Williams went to Santa Clara, where he was named to the All-WCC first team as a junior this season. He averaged 18 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists for the Broncos, all career highs.
Just seeing like firsthand the work that he put in, it's like, you know, I got to see, like, experience it, you know, right in front of him while he was growing up, all the hard work he put in. So it's just surreal to me.
Even though Jalen Williams' career in this Perry gym ended several years ago, when he gets his name called tonight at the NBA draft, it's only further proof to the current team that when they step out of these doors, the opportunities are endless.
Jalen kind of set the standard here. He got us to a Final Four. He got us to win here.
It's been really inspirational. I mean, just shows that, you know, rankings don't really mean anything, you know, because I don't even know if he was ranked coming out of high school. So then he went to the right place for him. Now he might be a lottery pick. So it's kind of just helped me, you know, think about not worrying about the rankings, just kind of put my head down and work.
Cody Williams is now starring at Perry and was an integral part of their state championship this past season. After playing at Section 7 last weekend, he received offers from Arizona and UCLA. Cody will be by Jalen's side tonight in New York when the elder Williams gets his call to the NBA. For most NBA prospects, their dream starts in high school, where players like the Williams brothers try to impress the college scouts. Cronkite reporter Ethan Ryder has more on the competitive college recruiting process.
The Section 7 tournament in Arizona is one of the top events in the country. From a scouting perspective, it's a chance to see players in a different environment.
Kids sometimes look different with their high school team than they do with their club team. So it's great to see them in both settings.
Chandler High School coach Jonathan Rother also coaches a club team. He says club games can feel like pickup games, which differs from high school.
College coaches and college programs get to see kids play under a certain level of structure that they have in their programs that I think sometimes gets lost in club.
5-star Duke commit Jared McCain realizes a tournament like this allows players to show they can execute in different roles.
If you play your role the perfect way, then people are going to see it, and they're going to notice that, oh, he's doing little things, he's playing defense really well, he's rebounding.
When Corona Centennial guard forward Eric Freeney was given his first college offers at the Section 7 event, the coaches who recruited him told him the simple fundamentals he showed in his high school role was why they made him an offer.
Coaches didn't really care about scoring like that. They care about defense and just all the little things like making the right pass, defensive rotations, and getting rebounds and boxing out, fundamentals.
While club ball showcases raw talent, playing in a more structured high school setting is key for recruiting, and bringing coaches together at Section 7 makes the process easier. In Glendale, Ethan Ryder, Cronkite News.
The Suns' Deandre Ayton knows what it's like to be heavily recruited. The big man was the #1 pick in the 2018 draft when the Suns took him out of the University of Arizona. But just 4 years later, Ayton may be on his way out of Phoenix. Cronkite News reporter Lauren Green talked to Suns players who voiced support for their teammate.
Many Suns players showed up for JaVale McGee's softball charity game Wednesday night. And while they were all focused on the fun of the event, talk quickly turned to Deandre Ayton and whether or not the Suns' big man will stay with the team.
I feel like he should do what's best for him and his family. I feel like every NBA player should take that role.
Ayton is a restricted free agent, but the Suns can match any offer he gets from another team. There's also been talk of a sign-and-trade deal, but players say they're just waiting to see what happens.
Control what you can control, you know what I mean? It's summertime. It's a good problem to have, if it is a problem.
No, we really don't really talk about none of that stuff. We just kind of talk about life and have fun.
The Suns' early playoff exit sparked talk that Ayton was on the outs with head coach Monty Williams and some of his teammates. But players say they'd love to see Ayton return.
Of course, that's my guy, my best friend. Definitely won't want him to go nowhere else.
From my perspective personally, definitely somebody I always want on my team.
The Suns did not offer Ayton a max contract deal at the start of last season, possibly signaling the beginning of the end to Ayton's run in the Valley. In Phoenix, Lauren Green, Cronkite News.
There are a handful of teams showing interest in Ayton, including the Pistons, Pacers, and Spurs. That's it for today's Cronkite Sports Report. Back to you, Nikita.